Today is June 18th, 2025. The world watches as Ukraine's struggle continues. Over 3 years since Russia's invasion, Ukraine stands firm, its spirit unbroken, its people united. This is more than a regional conflict, it's a battle for freedom. Ukraine counters with ingenuity, technology, and an unbreakable will. This is the story of a nation refusing to be erased, a story of courage, creativity, and hope. The world is witnessing Ukraine's unyielding spirit. Ukraine has rewritten the modern military playbook through the innovative use of drones. These unmanned aerial vehicles have become the great equalizer, allowing Ukraine to counter Russia's numerical superiority. From modified commercial quadcopters to sophisticated long-range attack drones, these systems provide precision strikes and real-time reconnaissance. Ukrainian operators have mastered first-person view piloting, guiding drones into vulnerable Russian targets with surgical precision. Drones guide artillery, disrupt communications, and create constant fear among Russian troops. This technological leap was born of necessity, with Ukraine's defense industry and volunteer ecosystem rapidly innovating new models and tactics. Decentralized development allows Ukraine to adapt quickly, keeping Russia off balance. Drone warfare has democratized air power, forcing Russia to disperse its forces and struggle to protect assets. The skies over Ukraine are contested not by a large air force, but by thousands of small, lethal drones. This new reality has transformed ground combat, proving that ingenuity and technology can rival mass and firepower. Ukraine's approach is now studied by military strategists worldwide. The future of warfare is being shaped on Ukrainian soil. In June 2025, Ukraine launched Operation Spiderweb, a daring mission that struck deep into Russia's strategic heart. Using over 100 drones smuggled and assembled inside Russia, Ukraine targeted major airfields, destroying or damaging up to a third of Russia's strategic bomber fleet. The attack used Russia's own mobile networks to control the drones, bypassing traditional defenses. This operation forced Russia to relocate aircraft and invest heavily in new defenses, shattering the illusion of security within its borders. The psychological and material impact was immense, degrading Russia's air operations and morale. For Ukrainians, it was a powerful sign of their growing reach and capability. Operation Spiderweb marked a strategic turning point, showing that Ukraine could inflict painful defeats on a superpower. The war had been brought home to the Kremlin. Ukraine's innovation is changing the strategic calculus of the conflict. Ukraine's ingenuity extends to the sea and air, where it has achieved world-first successes with unmanned surface vessels, sea drones. These explosive-laden drones have hunted and destroyed Russian warships, breaking the Black Sea blockade and reopening vital shipping lanes. Ukrainian engineers adapted these drones, mounting rocket launchers and even air-to-air missiles, transforming them into versatile platforms. In May 2025, a sea drone shot down 2 Russian fighter jets, the first time a naval drone destroyed combat aircraft. These victories have secured Ukraine's coastline, complicated Russian logistics, and devastated the morale of the Russian Navy. Ukraine combines Western technology with domestic innovation, keeping Russia constantly reacting to new threats. This campaign demonstrates that a smaller nation can control domains through superior strategy and creativity. Ukraine's willingness to experiment with bold tactics has redefined naval and air warfare. The Black Sea is no longer Russia's domain. Innovation driven by necessity is Ukraine's core advantage. Ukraine's resilience is anchored in its layered defense on the ground and in the air. Ukrainian forces hold long front lines against relentless Russian assaults, using fortified positions, minefields, artillery, and FPV drones to inflict heavy losses. In the air, Ukraine's integrated defense network, combining Western-supplied systems, Soviet-era platforms, and mobile anti-aircraft crews, prevents Russia from achieving air superiority. Advanced electronic warfare systems jam and spoof Russian drones and missiles, creating an iron wall that protects cities and infrastructure. During a massive Russian air attack in June, Ukraine intercepted over 90% of incoming drones and many missiles, averting catastrophe. Defensive success is not passive. Ukrainian forces conduct counterattacks and operate inside Russian territory, forcing the Kremlin to divert resources. This strategy, holding firm while launching spoiling attacks, prevents Russia from achieving a decisive breakthrough. Ukraine's defense is grueling and heroic, buying precious time for its long-term strategy. The ability to adapt and innovate under fire is Ukraine's greatest shield. Every day, defenders on the ground and in the air hold the line for their nation's survival. The world is witnessing a masterclass in modern defense. War is a contest of will, and Ukraine's motivation is unmatched. Ukrainian soldiers and civilians fight for their homes, families, and national survival, drawing strength from a deep sense of purpose. High morale is reinforced by a society fully mobilized behind its defenders, with civilians volunteering, fundraising, and supporting the war effort. The bond between army and people creates a powerful feedback loop. Soldiers fight harder knowing the nation stands with them. This unity is Ukraine's most potent asset. In contrast, Russian troops face low morale, poor discipline, and unclear goals, often resorting to conscripts and coerced labor. Reports of surrender and disarray among Russian units highlight a critical vulnerability. The Kremlin's inability to inspire its forces stands in stark contrast to Ukraine's national unity. The war's trajectory is shaped as much by morale as by firepower. The war is an economic struggle as much as a military one. Ukraine's war effort consumes half its GDP, sustained only by massive Western support. Despite exhaustion and inflation, Ukrainian institutions function, businesses operate, and daily life continues, even under attack. This resilience is a testament to the adaptability of Ukraine's people and government. Russia, too, faces severe strain. Military spending soars, growth stagnates, and sanctions bite. The National Welfare Fund is projected to be depleted by year's end, forcing tough choices. Ukraine's economy, though battered, is propped up by global powers and fights for survival. Russia's larger economy is increasingly isolated and distorted by war spending and corruption. The economic duel highlights the different foundations of the two societies. In this war of endurance, Ukraine's global integration is its lifeline. Ukraine's defense depends on steady international aid, military, financial, and humanitarian. Led by the US and Europe, this coalition provides vital support, from soldiers' salaries to advanced weaponry. Aid is not charity, it's an investment in global security and the rules-based order. Sanctions on Russia target its financial sector, energy revenues, and military industry, degrading its war potential. Russia turns to authoritarian allies, but remains increasingly isolated. Ukraine's partners consider seizing frozen Russian assets to boost Ukraine's war effort. The conflict tests the endurance of alliances as much as armies. Every delivery of aid and every new sanction sends a message. The democratic world stands with Ukraine. International backing gives Ukraine the strategic depth to plan for victory. As of mid-2025, Ukraine remains unbowed. Its resilience is built on battlefield innovation, national will, and steadfast international support. Ukraine has outthought and outmaneuvered its adversary, pioneering new forms of warfare. The masterful use of drones and unconventional weapons has shown that agility and creativity can defeat brute force. This military prowess is rooted in societal unity and high morale. The Ukrainian people fight a righteous war of liberation, fueling every defender and volunteer. The path ahead is difficult, but Ukraine's survival depends on continued resolve, at home and among its allies. The world must not give in to fatigue. What's at stake is the principle that freedom is worth defending. Ukraine's story is one of hope, a testament to the power of a free people to resist tyranny. Through courage and innovation, Ukraine has defied expectations and taken the fight to the aggressor. Ukraine stands strong not just because it must, but because it chooses to. Day by day it forges victory through sacrifice, ingenuity, and an unbreakable belief in a free future.